This is episode 38 of the Latter-day Saint Geeks podcast. I'm Spencer, and my co-host today is TJ. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be back and to find time to get back and to be back again.
I think when I was looking at my notes, this episode had previously been planned for like episode 34, so we've been... That's how...
Well, that's not too bad. I thought it was like in the 20s. I was very concerned.
Well, maybe originally, but...
Originally. This is really like originally...
I think that probably 15. Means it's been 3 months since our last Doctor Who episode, and I plan to do it a month after that or something.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. That makes me sad at myself. Just life gets in the way.
But, yeah.
That's what happens.
But I've also been behind on watching Doctor Who, so this has given me time to catch up on catching up.
I know. I am. I'm almost done with Leela, which not too much further. I only got a few with her.
Well, I'm only one companion behind you. I just finished with Sarah Jane, so.
Yeah, so you're on Leela, so we're still.
Well, no, I have the Deadly Assassin left companion list.
Yeah, that still puts you about only a season behind, though. You're not
it's better than it was.
Yep. No, it's all good. I had to stop because I was so afraid of like finishing the Fourth Doctor before we actually recorded this episode, even. Because I'm like, oh my gosh. And then
I will go ahead with my recommendation. I'm only 3 or 4 chapters in, but right now I feel like I can recommend the new Hunger Games novel, Sunrise on the Reaping. It's about Haymitch in the 50th Hunger Games, and I'm really curious because it has like the second Hunger Games book of the original series, Catching Fire, gives like the Peeta and Katniss watch the replays of like the videos of Haymitch's games in preparation for going back in, and it's like we know a lot about Haymitch's games already, but even just a few chapters in, because it only came out this week, but I'm only a couple chapters in and there's already a couple plot twists that I'm like, that was not in Catching Fire. This is interesting. And it does a good job so far tying back to the original trilogy, referencing people and places in District 12 that we knew in the originals. But also it harkens back to the President Snow book that was done a few years ago, and some stuff that happened there. So kind of bridging the two stories, which is kind of cool. So no spoilers, except to say that
we kind of know who wins in the end, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, obviously. And we even know some of the aftermath from what happened in Catching Fire. But the way that it's coming about, it has, not full plot twist, but still like, oh, I didn't see that coming exactly. And just the connections that are being weaved between the book before and the book after, chronologically. The timey-wimey part of my brain is very happy about that.
It's always a nice thing when we get to see the connection between the different things. I've never read the Ballad of whatever it was called.
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Thank you. Yeah, not someone who's interested in that prequel aspect, and I've never actually seen the movies, but I have read the 3 books.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes could be another recommendation for me if I really wanted to put it on there, just because I seeing how President Snow like develops as a villain was like fascinating to me. But that's another conversation for another time. I know last year Russell and I had done an episode of the podcast in preparation, like after this new book was announced. We did like everything we already know about the 50th Hunger Games. So going into this book,
that's cool.
Like we had reviewed, like we know Haymitch is the victor, obviously. We know this about the aftermath. We know this about the games. But now to see it all playing out little by little is intriguing and interesting for me. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I may very well recommend it again when I finish it. But I'll leave it.
That's cheating. I'm just kidding.
Hey, but it's going to come out as a movie, so I could recommend the book and movie later.
There you go. Now that's totally fair.
The loophole.
Absolutely. I allow that. That's your loophole. That's a great loophole. I like that loophole.
Go ahead.
My recommendation. Yeah, my recommendation is not new by any means. It's an older TV show, and I say older, which doesn't mean 80s, like I think it should be when I say the word older, but I think about 2010, 2009, 2010 timeframe. TV show called White Collar. I think in the very first podcast that you and I did together here, episode 2, I recommended Leverage, which is a TV show about a group of thieves, basically, who come together and do good. White Collar kind of has that same feel, where it's a former con artist who, which is where I got the word cunning from, because I was Googling the TV show, because I was looking for an aspect of that character. Sorry, nobody knows where the word cunning is coming from. That's a spoiler for later.
Started recording. We'll come back to that
before
later.
We start recording. We talked before we start recording, people. Please don't think that we just get on and Spencer starts talking and then I just join in the conversation. Anyway, I was talking about my recommendation here is White Collar, which is this TV show. This guy is a former con artist and kind of still is. FBI uses him to take down white-collar crimes.
Kind of sounds like Castle, but
which is really cool.
I think that's Castle, that they took an author to solve crimes. In this case, they're using a con artist to solve crimes, right?
Yeah, except this is, I mean, Castle, I want to say it's with the police. This is with the FBI. It's
that's true. But same kind of idea.
It's a little different, but it's similar. It's a similar idea. Except it's, it's like a buddy cop system idea, because the FBI agent and the main character, they kind of become friends. For any children of the 90s, the actress who played Kelly Kapowski, Tiffany Thiessen, she plays the FBI agent's wife, and she is one of the best parts of the show. She's pretty comical, actually, in the role. So while it's got serious tone, it also is more of a lighter feel of a show, and in the similar vein as Doctor Who, where it's got comedy plus a serious tone.
Everything else, comedy plus everything else.
Comedy, well, it's got the serious thing, but it allows the comedy of life, right?
Yep.
Comedic moments. So that was my great segue into Doctor Who. How's that? I mentioned Doctor Who. That gets us there. That's close enough, right?
For the record, yeah, it's close enough. For the record, though, I think any show that's considered old, it's old if it's not currently ongoing, which is an interesting concept for Doctor Who.
That's fair.
Because it's old and ongoing.
But isn't that just fit the timey-wimey of Doctor Who?
Exactly.
It's old and ongoing.
So we're finally to the last episode of our third Doctor series. I'm finally finishing up Sarah Jane with the fourth Doctor, and you said you're almost done with Leela. So
yeah, I mean, I've still got 4.5.
So theoretically, we'll be speeding along. But in the meantime, we're gonna talk about the third Doctor, who I feel like the third Doctor's era. He was around for 5 seasons, and a lot of what he did laid the foundation for future Doctors. With Unit, the sonic screwdriver became mainstream. We got the Master, we've got the Brigadier. Even just the way that they use the companions is very... it's different with the third Doctor, but it's also very different from how the first 2 Doctors did companions. And I think it's a lot more like how the modern series does companions. But we'll get to all that bit by bit.
Agreed wise. I was gonna add in, as much as we aren't talking about companions, but we are talking about the third Doctor laying foundation. Technically, in my mind, Sarah Jane counts as part of that, seeing as we've got her history with the third, the fourth. She comes back for the Five Doctors, and then she is.
I mean, she got her own spin-off, so that's
Oh my
something.
gosh! And then she comes back with the 10th Doctor and David Tennant, and she got technically kind of two of them, even though
That's
one
true.
was just a TV movie.
It was Sarah Jane,
And not
and
the
it got her,
greatest
she got
TV movie.
K9 out of
But it was still
so
Sarah
she
Jane,
won.
and it's nice to watch Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
She wins. I mean, if you get K9 out of anything, it's like, hey, I've got a tin dog. You know what? That tin dog is a whole lot better than what some people make it out to be.
No.
We do not have the tin dog, though, with the third Doctor. That is not something yet. But like you said, Unit was introduced with the second Doctor, but only in one series, if I remember correctly. But this is heavily... But then the next time he appeared, it was
Correct.
Unit, and it was with the second Doctor. But again, it was very soft with Unit. But now we've got like
and
Unit
not just
as a full agency.
They're
here
formed as an agency
and the
by the
third
time of the
Doctor.
third Doctor, but it becomes, because of the Doctor's exile, Unit becomes like his home base, which I don't think has happened. It definitely didn't happen before, and I don't think it's ever happened since. He became this like agency man, like almost this like got this spy action hero aspect to him, but always working for Unit. Coming back to that, the closest I could think of that he ever does since was when he would like drop Rory and Amy or Clara off for adventures, and then like he would still like go do his own adventures and then just kind of pick them up sporadically out of their own lives. But he actually had a home base with Unit for a long time. He's still on payroll.
Yeah, that is kind of fair.
Or so he said.
Yep, he's still on payroll with Unit. No, it's the Doctor. River Song's first rule of the Doctor. He lies. I mean, you make a very interesting point though with the comparison to James Bond and the Doctor here, because he's a little more spy-esque. I mean, the first James Bond movie, Dr. No, came out before Doctor Who actually even came out, like a year before, in 1962. So, but at this point, I'm pretty sure there's at least 4 or 5 movies of James Bond. So, the popularity being there, it might.
I think definitely is at least some sort of inspiration, because
the third Doctor.
I forget what kind of martial arts he was using or whatever, but like it's always, and it's very much a Doctor Who kind of martial art that like it was not meant to be. And it was never meant to be like
Aikido
fighting. It was always meant to be like subdue the enemy in the like most, like, so that he could
subdue your enemy.
No one's getting hurt. No one's in. Yeah.
He's not killing anyone. He's just preventing. They're preventing him, so he's stopping them as well in return.
Yeah, I mean, James Bond has a license to kill. The Doctor has a license to
Star
put you
Trek
to sleep.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. He's Mr. Sandman at that point. The Doctor uses the screwdriver a few times as well.
It's the first time, because the second Doctor used it a couple times.
A lot more
to actually screw screws.
Yep.
Weird, right?
Yeah, like what a screwdriver actually does.
The third Doctor is the first one who actually uses it.
Actually, he unscrewed things
on a frequent basis, to the point that to reverse the polarity.
And
then by the time to the point that like by the fifth Doctor, they get rid of the sonic screwdriver because it's become such a big thing. They wanted to have the Doctor without the screwdriver. But at this point, this is sonic celery instead, probably. Yeah. Again, it's just one of those things like would Doctor Who of the modern day would be very different without the third Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the third Doctor, we talked about it a little bit. A lot of villains that first appear with the third Doctor come back or referenced. I mean, especially with the Third Doctor, you've got the Autons, which brought back in with the
the
modern
Master
Doctor
recurred
Who.
for a whole
The
season.
Master, by all means, being the Doctor's greatest adversary. Oh yeah, I mean he's in every story that
and then
first
he's like
the first Joe season, and he's in a few for the ninth.
Pretty
the
much
next one.
right up until right up until Roger Delgado passed away, he's coming in and out of the story.
Pretty much, he really, really is. So starting with Terror of the Autons, which is the first story he's in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have him listed as 7 stories. I'm not sure if that last one, if there's an 8th one. I'm just not sure which one I had. Nope. So yeah, 7 different stories that he's in with the Third Doctor, which is majority of, there's 20 stories from when Joe starts.
Yeah.
So being in 7 of them, that is a really good chunk of it. Of course, by the time that in the Joe era,
I mean, I know that when we
alone, it is the majority.
I know that when we talked about the monk and everything, we're like, and I think we talked about, and I definitely talked about in some blog posts that, let's get some variety. We don't need to always have it be the Master. But at the same time, the Master's been working for decades, so something worked with the Third Doctor era
for a long time
with the Master.
Definitely.
They kept bringing him back, and they keep bringing him back, and they probably will still keep bringing him back.
Have you seen the colorized version 1.5 hour shortened War Games?
There was some reference to the Master or his theme or something put in that made it sound like one of the Time Lords in that was the Master. It's not confirmed, but I've heard a lot. I heard when it first came out, that's what people were talking about.
I saw that a lot on different online, and I read an article about it when it first.
I don't think it was ever meant to confirm this is the Master. You need to this is now officially the Master. We've retconned this to have it be him. But it was definitely gave that implicate that.
Yeah,
I think it was the War Chief that. Not one of the ones on the council, but the War Chief.
Yeah, the War Chief is supposed to have been the. Yeah, the War Chief is supposed to be the Master.
It's a fine head
I don't like that. I want that to just be a different. Yeah, I mean that's what they seem to try to do, but it takes away, I think, a little bit, especially from Delgado being the original Master. And if I remember correctly, that the Doctor even recognizes.
Well, and the Doctor has history with the Master, as we learn in later Doctors, is even more. The Doctor knew him. David Tennant referenced knowing the Master way back as kids,
as a child.
And Timeless Child aside, you feel like he recognized the Master for who he was.
Yeah, don't worry.
If the War Chief was the Master, I feel like the Doctor would probably have known, but he also didn't know that there was the Master with the Chameleon Circuit, so anything's possible, I suppose. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But again, I mean, the Master and that antagonistic relationship between the Master and the Doctor, the Master being both the Doctor's best friend and greatest adversary, really is hit hard with the Third Doctor era. And that is something that you see again with the Saxon Doctor and the Missy Doctor.
The Spy Doctor.
Not so much with the Crazy Doctor, Spy Doctor, the Spy Master. I was not a big fan of that one. They reverted back, and
we'll have to look at that as well with the other classic Masters as well, because we get one more. We get the Decaying Master, and then he steals a body, I think, if I recall correctly, at the end of the Fourth Doctor era. And then we have another stolen body against the Eighth Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, I've never seen that last. I know that the Master returns with the Fourth Doctor, but I mean, watching all of the Master this time around, because when I did my initial like kind of watch through Doctor Who, I just watched whatever was available, and so I only got a little bit of season 7, and
It's
I think
different
like
getting the
only
whole
2 other
thing.
episodes before the 3 Doctors, and yeah, it's missing a whole lot there, and so I didn't get as much that initial watch through, but like watching all of the Master here this time, there's so much more respect for that character, as much as not
Like as a
respect in
writer,
like a
having respect
positive
for
way, but
the
respect of
dynamic between them.
the portrayal. Yep, the way that he was written, the dynamic that they have, and the fact that the Master is, as Missy says later on, bananas from the get-go. It's not just, that's not something that they randomly threw in there. That's Doctor Who history that was brought back in and pointed out a lot cleaner, which I thought was, when I started recognizing that's how the Master is to the Third Doctor, then it was like, you know what, Missy's character makes a whole lot more sense to me. I mean, that's something else that I think I did not really like the Third Doctor as much my first time watching Doctor Who. A lot more people liked him more than I thought they should, and I was a little negative toward him. But then watching it this whole time, I really respected John Pertwee's version of the Doctor, and the way that, as much as I love the Second Doctor, I started to appreciate the Third Doctor a whole lot more as a character, and who he was, instead of just this older man who, I don't know, was just, I don't have the right word because I can't even think, because it was so long ago when I first started watching that, probably in like 2014 or 15 time frame, right. Almost 10 years ago or more, 10 or 11 years ago.
Well, here's another one with the Doctor's long-standing relationships, the Brigadier. And I mean, I feel like we're going to spend the biggest thing about the Third Doctor is his relationships. Yep. The Master, the Brigadier, his companions. You can't talk about any of the Doctors, but especially the Third Doctor was just being stuck on Earth. It was all about his relationships with UNIT and the people around him.
I think that's something that, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, the Second Doctor is the first one who met Alistair Lethbridge Stewart. But the Third Doctor is the one that spent most time with the Brigadier. So I think that that's something that you can see, that connection, that friendship with him and the Brigadier, and that I don't know that the Brigadier ever shows enough respect to the Third Doctor, though. That is something that I do feel like the Brigadier couldn't respect the Third Doctor for whatever reason, because it wasn't the Second Doctor, and I think that added to their. I always just kind of felt like the Brigadier was just along for the ride.
You saw them in the Three Doctors, and we talked about this when we discussed the Three Doctors, that the Brigadier is just like, well, he changed again. What else do you know?
He went back. Well, when he regenerates at the very end, it's
just
like,
along for the ride. It's like, well,
we go again.
Just another day in the life. Which is kind of perfect for their relationship, in my opinion. But
I mean, that's something that, it really kind of is, right? I mean, they have all the Brigadier tries. I mean, come on. When you think of UNIT, you think Brigadier's in charge. I mean, we know he's not completely in charge, but he's pretty in charge at that point. But the Brigadier thinks he's in charge of the Doctor.
The Doctor's not even really in charge of the Doctor that well.
He's just not. No, and at this point, the TARDIS is
not. And the Doctor's certainly not in charge of the TARDIS.
The TARDIS sometimes is.
For like 90+% of the Third Doctor's era, the TARDIS is a decoration to be controlled by the Time Lords, to send him wherever they need him, if they need him.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what this time is, because, I mean, the Doctor does leave Earth a little bit during his exile, as the Time Lords decide, oh, fine, you can go somewhere, which is kind of tiresome.
If they needed him, they sent him.
But
they're not willing to meddle, but the Doctor is willing to meddle, so let's send him.
Yeah, of course they that actually let's look at that one. The relationship between the Doctor and um, the Time Lords who decide, hey, by the way, you're going here and doing this for us. That's very common throughout the Third Doctor, but it
That's
continues with
true.
the
I
Fourth
just was thinking
Doctor.
of the Brain of Morbius, which I didn't watch relatively recently, and it's like, yep, the Time Lords needed him to do their dirty work again, and he didn't even know about it until he's there.
And
Oh yeah,
what was the other one? Oh, Genesis of the Daleks.
that was like
That's another one where they
way
really
explicit. Like
were.
he's headed
Hey, by the
somewhere
way, we
else,
figured
and
out something.
he even has someone like stop and spell it out for him. But like, we're sending you somewhere. Your companions will be there, but we're taking a little
Mm-hmm.
detour before we get to where we're going.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's just the way that the Time Lords treat the Doctor,
Yep.
like their own personal renegade. Um, so I know we said we were going to talk about the companions, which of course the relationship between the Doctor and his companions, but there's another relationship between the Doctor um, with the Third Doctor that I'd like to bring up. Yeah, Bessie the car. Bessie. I would love to see Bessie. Period. If there's anything about the Third Doctor that I love, I would want that car. I mean, this thing is old and never something that anybody would be driving. And even back then in the
Yeah, we're in the 70s.
we're not quite. No, we're in 1970, somewhere in there. We're in the 70s. So
But he like specifically he likes,
um, I mean, he gets this car, but this car is like from the 20s or the 30s even.
but he specifically
So I think
requested
it's
it
actually a
after
30s
stealing
car.
one almost
I'd
exactly
have to
like
double
it, and
check.
it was just ridiculous. He doesn't want a
Similar.
paycheck, but he wants Bessie. Yep.
No, he wants the little car. I'm gonna look it up to see if it can tell me.
I'm just gonna say though, while you're looking that up, that like we've got in the trailer for the next season of the 15th Doctor, like we've got Unit already in the trailer. Let's have Bessie too. We've already got Kate Stewart. We've already got Mel or whoever else is working with Unit. Let's just dig Bessie out while we're at it. I mean, Unit is who got it for him, and then when the Fourth Doctor disappeared, you can only imagine that he left Bessie behind, or maybe Bessie's in the TARDIS somewhere. It's always a possibility.
Would not be put it past the Doctor. A canary yellow Edwardian roadster. I don't know if that's the name of the. Yeah, Edwardian has to do with the era. A Siva
You
Torter
got a
is the
year
actual
or a
name
range
of
on
the
it.
car type. I'm trying to find the year. That's what I was looking for. But according to this, Bessie was first completed in 1910. I want the car. I mean, what else can I say about Bessie? I would love Bessie in a car. I mean, the Doctor cannot get in the TARDIS and go anywhere, right? He's stuck on Earth. I think that was a brilliant way to help him go around in a way that felt very Doctor, because he's stuck in a police phone box, which in the 1960s wasn't even that common of a thing anymore, from what they even kind of hint at and say. So that's not common. Of course, he's going to take a car that's not common anymore, and it's kind of already old. And it's just what he wants. It's what he likes. It's a classic like him, or like them, like the Doctor. Okay, I'm good with the car. Other than I want it, I think it'd be a cool car to have. Nobody give it to me. I don't have
I don't
room
think
for a
any of
car
our
like that,
listeners are going
but
to gift
it'd be
you
cool to have
Bessie. I'm
anyway.
sorry.
No, it's okay. But I can always dream. Our one listener, whoever that may
My
be.
dad. My dad is not.
Doubt he's gonna give me Bessie the car.
Um,
Spencer's dad,
I
can I
will
have a Bessie
say,
car? No,
moving
it's
on
okay.
to other
I'm fine.
relationships, like I said before, like this era of Doctor Who, it gives him a home
Mm-hmm.
base, and it's something that we don't ever see again. Um, in conversely, the way
Mm-hmm.
he interacts with his companions and how the companions kind of work in this era, it's like we almost never see anything else ever again, because this is the first time through the first and second Doctor we had companions going in and out of the TARDIS, just depending on how the story presented itself. Restraining myself from ranting about Dodo, but
yeah, when you start with Dodo as the worst example of a companion entrance plus exit, and you go up from there because you can't not go up from there, because even Katarina has a better entrance and exit
conversely,
than Dodo.
each companion with the third Doctor is like per season. Liz was only 1, Jo was 3, and then Sarah Jane was 1 with this Doctor, and then continued on with the fourth Doctor. But it's the first time that, like in modern Doctor Who, that's more or less how we have it. There's a couple exceptions with like Captain Jack and Adam with the Ninth Doctor, that they were only companions for a couple episodes at most.
I would much rather talk about Dodo than Adam any day.
Whereas, like, there's some with the fourth Doctor, I think we'll get away from this again because he has more of a TARDIS team towards the end and not a set companion. But this is kind of the formula that we see.
Yeah, but only at the very end, and those companions don't leave the Doctor at that point. But when you look at the fourth Doctor and when they all leave,
even just like the season run, like Sarah Jane leaves.
Sarah Jane,
it's different than like in the modern show. The only companions that changed mid-season were Rory and Amy, and handing the baton off to Clara. Everyone else has been like one season.
Which kind of,
but even that, we get this, instead of revolving door of companions, we have like actual relationships, and with usually just a 2-person TARDIS team, the Doctor and a companion. But this is our formula from here on out, basically, whether it's a full season or whether it's
when you go ahead,
multiple episodes or whatever it is, it's like this is how a companion behaves from this point on, basically.
Should be behaved, yeah. Looking at, when you look at the first and second Doctor, they're accidental companions, right? I mean, Susan, that's different. That's a whole unique thing there. And no matter what anybody says, I will maintain that Susan is the Doctor's legitimate granddaughter because of the images in his office with the 12th Doctor and Bill.
15th Doctor all but confirmed that, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with that thought process again, which makes me happy because I liked that familial relationship as being something, making the Doctor more approachable, more realistic. But on the flip side, you have these companions who are all accidents, without a better word that I can find right there. The classic example that we love to hate on is Dodo, but other than Dodo, Ben and Polly do the same thing. They walk into the TARDIS. Jamie gets stuck into he and Barbara get kidnapped by the Doctor. Let's be honest. They walked in not knowing what to expect, and then they called him a liar, and he proved them wrong. And then they got stuck with him for 2 years. Going all the way through up to Pen and Polly, it's like everybody is an accidental companion. Then you start with the second Doctor, you bring in Jamie, Victoria, and Zoe, and they all, again, are somewhat accidental companions. With the third Doctor, Liz challenged the Doctor mentally enough where he was okay having her around. He wanted to keep her around. And they kind of just started to hang out for that one season. And then when she unfortunately leaves in a throwaway line, basically, from the Brigadier, but it's in such a way that it makes sense as to, hey, Liz is moving on to a different spot with UNIT or whatever she's doing, can't remember. She didn't just randomly walk out of the TARDIS and be like, oh, I'm done. Jo, on the flip side, well, not flip side, but Jo gets this introduction of, Jo gets the first, like, real story. She's the only person willing to be his assistant. He is stuck with Jo, whether he likes it or not. And then he likes it. He's
She's
happy
his
that
friend.
she is
She's
with
his
him to
like
help him
student,
out.
daughter, niece.
And
We've
she's
used a
his
lot of words for
friend.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stick with them having like a crazy uncle. Like Joe's relationship with the doctor is like that crazy uncle relationship. And Sarah Jane, she is an accidental companion because she wanders in the TARDIS when it takes off, and she meets the freaky looking
Potato
clone.
dwarfs.
Oh my gosh, why can I not think of Sontaran?
Psychotic potato dwarfs. Remember?
Potato dwarfs, yes, the Sontarans. But Sarah Jane again with the accidental, but not unwilling, right? Everybody else was kind of a little unwilling to an extent, but they wanted to stick around most of the time, and then they were. But she was always an investigator. She wanted to know more and more, and that's why Sarah Jane stuck around, because she was able to learn so much. When she's appearing again with the 10th Doctor in School Reunion, which is still one of my favorite episodes of all time. At least it has one of my favorite scenes of all time. Probably not the best, but it was a great way to have Sarah Jane come back. Like just that investigative, hey, I just can't resist. You've been gone for so long. I need more in my life, and she just takes charge. That's who Sarah Jane always was. And I think the other thing, we're talking about his relationship to these people, to his companions, and really, there's just the three main companions. Yeah, you've got the unit with Mike Yates and Brigadier and Sergeant Benton, but you get Liz, Joe, and Sarah Jane as his main companions, and he treats them for who they are. Like with the first Doctor, he had Susan he treated as granddaughter, and then you get Vicky that he treated like a granddaughter, and Dodo he treated like a granddaughter, to an extent. And so with this, from what I could see, I kind of gauged he treats Liz like a scientist. He treats her like she is intelligent and that she is going to be able to. He's still teaching her, but that
he knows that by human standards,
has
she's
knowledge.
very intelligent.
Yep. Joe, I had a harder time with coming up with Joe. This is where the word cunning comes from the spoiler earlier that I said, because I looked at Joe.
We talked a bit about this before coming on, trying to find the right words to describe Joe.
And we came up with cunning student, or at least I did. That's how my feeling ended in the end, because Joe has the student quality of eager to learn, but she's cunning. And the reason I use the word cunning, not in the negative sense, which it's not always a negative thing anyway, but I mean, this is a young woman who knows how to do escapology, which is.
I think about
something the Doctor needs.
Shoot, I'm forgetting the name of this story right now. That during our Third Doctor Adventures episode, we talked about the one in the prison,
the Mind of
and
Evil?
she escaped the prison.
The Mind of Evil. Yeah.
And only Joe could have done that. Basically.
Yep.
Thank you, the Mind of Evil.
Yeah, in the Mind of Evil, when she overthrows a whole. She overthrows a prison coup by herself. Like she coups the coup, and it's like, how on earth did this young small woman do that? And if you watch it, there's not a single doubt in my mind that she was able to do it. Like she was written that way.
And she was written really well.
Yep.
Which I love. Like she's not this timid. She comes across timid, and and the Doctor knows that's, and bring it back to the Third Doctor, because that's what this episode's about. The Doctor knows how capable she is, and that's why he can trust her. And that's why because he knows that she's the eager, cunning student, and that when he sends her in somewhere, or when she finds herself somewhere, that she's going to be okay, because she's going to find her way out.
Exactly. I mean, she's not looking for. Joe's not the kind of person who's asking, what are the rules? She's asking, what's wrong? What can I do to get out of this? What can I do to make sure that our side wins? I mean, maybe not a bad thing, but maybe not a good thing or bad thing, but that's the cunning concept is I'm looking for a way to get out of this situation, just like the Doctor, and that's like the only thing that they really have in common.
And she keeps doing that. Like even when she leaves the show, the men that she marries, they go on to do the same kind of thing. Like you get reference in when she appears in the Sarah Jane Adventures that she's going through the Amazon. She's like doing all these crazy world-saving things, like trying to, save the Amazon and stuff. And it's because she does stuff like that that the Doctor is able to treat her the way that he did for 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. And then because of Jo and her innate ability to use wisdom and cunning instead of just intellect, I think that opened the door really well for Sarah Jane. I mean, I will stick with that Jo is the 3rd Doctor's companion, but Sarah Jane is the 4th's, but she gets that spot because of her relationship with the 3rd Doctor, because of his relationship with Jo. Because with Sarah Jane, actually, I'm going to back up. I have one more thing with Jo that I wanted to say from the 3rd Doctor side of things, and I felt like when Jo leaves, I feel like that's the first time that the Doctor is very
I could maybe argue
with
that
a companion's
Susan,
departure.
but he chose that departure for her. Like it was hard on.
He forced Susan
him, but
out,
he chose
and
it.
that's the only one.
That's the only one I can think of that would rival it.
And that's the only one that I was thinking would rival it. But it's really, he didn't choose Jo to go. He chose for Susan to go, and that while that may be a tougher decision for some people, I think it would be more heartbreaking almost to have Jo leave the Doctor than to choose to tell Susan he wants her to have her life. He doesn't want her traveling with him and being stuck everywhere. So I feel like with Jo, like he was so excited to go and see Jo and help and have her help with the blue crystal, whatever. But Jo is no longer interested, and I think it broke his heart a bit. With the 2nd Doctor, I feel like with Jamie and Zoe losing their memories, that was a little bit heartbreaking for him as well.
That's different as well, though.
I feel like just because of that connection that he had with Jo. Yeah. Jo is there with him through like the worst, in a way, for the 3rd Doctor with the Master, and then finally being able to get to go places and joining him on all these different adventures, and then to just decide, I need it here. I need to do this here. I feel like that breaks his heart a little bit more. So, but I think that Sarah Jane coming in as her replacement, I think for the 3rd Doctor, she was a really good. I mean, Sarah Jane to me maintains her place as best companion of all time, despite what modern Whovians may say. I feel like she has this place with Doctor Who history and who she is and how she treats people and how she speaks. That with the 3rd Doctor not allowing it, but then realizing he didn't have a choice either. So I don't remember what I was going with when I was originally trying to segue from
Jo led the way for Sarah Jane, and then Sarah Jane just kind of transcended what it meant to be a companion because of how she met. By the end of the 5 Doctors, she had met those 5 Doctors. She met the 10th and 11th, and if it hadn't been for her passing, she would have met more. I guarantee it.
I'm sure she would have. Okay. I mean, yeah. She has this place in Doctor Who history that starts.
Like you said, Jo kind of opened the door for her, and she walked right in and found the Sontarans.
Yeah, walked right in, and psychotic potato dwarf. Although I don't see them as dwarfs so much, but
that's Matt Smith called them the psychotic potato dwarf. That's where that comes from. I'm quoting the 11th.
That's right. You're quoting the Doctor.
Oh, I thought I'd referenced that enough that you got it, but yeah.
You have, and I knew it was a reference, but I didn't know if it was a Doctor Who reference directly or somebody else's. So.
Okay. Well, let's finish up. We did this with the 2nd Doctor, and I wish I had it written down in front of me, but I'd have to go re-listen to our 2nd Doctor episode to get it right. Where would you rank the 3rd Doctor amidst the 3 Doctors we've done so far? I think I had done the 2nd Doctor above the 1st. I think
I ranked 2nd above.
I'm putting
first.
the 3rd Doctor between the 2 of them. It's hard because I think I even mentioned
You're
before
gonna
that
put the
like
second
the
Doctor
second
above the third
Doctor, I
Doctor,
think
huh?
I like his character. I connect with
Man.
his character more, but the third Doctor's stories I like more than the second Doctor's stories.
Yeah, you're describing like the 10th and 11th Doctor to me. Like I love the 10th
It's
Doctor
hard,
more,
right?
but
But as
the
far as
11th Doctor has to me
the
better
Doctor, not his
stories.
stories, but the Doctor.
I know, the Doctor himself. So I got to stick with that. You know, I think the second Doctor was just a lot more fun. The third Doctor, I got to see that fun with him. And I know you don't have it written down, but I'm pretty sure I still would have said the second Doctor above the first Doctor. I'm going to be very curious if I didn't, and I want to know why. But I'm looking at this, and I cannot. I've always kept the second Doctor above the third Doctor. I know that most people would disagree with that, but I just, as a character, because I'm not looking at it storyline wise, and I think the third Doctor had great relationships with especially Joe and Sarah Jane. The second Doctor with Ben and Polly, especially if you listen to it. I'm sorry, Ben, Polly, and Jamie, because Jamie's there for most of the time with Ben and Polly, other than the first episode or story they're together. I love that Team TARDIS dynamic that they have.
Even with Victoria, I know she screamed and annoyed the heck out of me, but the way that he handled her was amazing.
Yeah, and with that also with Victoria being one of my least favorite. Well, Victoria pretty much being I don't know. Ben depends on the day, but Victoria being one of my lesser liked companions there. I really honestly feel like the Doctor did what he did with
It was
Victoria.
the best he knew how.
It was against her will to an extent, but he was doing it. He knew he
Mhm.
needed to take care of her. She had nobody, and he needed to take care of her. And in the end, when she does depart, he's still taking care of her. That's why he did what he did, because he needed to get her into a spot where she was going to be comfortable again. And so I think that shows how much he really cared about the people that he was around. Um, so as a character, I think the second Doctor is just a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable to watch. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that with the second Doctor. I really started to enjoy the third Doctor more. So unfortunately, the first Doctor, I would have thought before
So we're
watching the
both
third
two
Doctor
three
it'd be
one at
two
this
one
point.
three, but it's 2-3-1 for me. That was a long answer. I'm pretty sure we'll have to wait till the
I'm
fifth.
curious how the fourth Doctor will play out for us, because I think you'll rank him higher than me, but I'm also curious how. I don't know yet. But yeah, once we get further along, once we're in the double digits, that's where it's gonna really be.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, I don't know where 5 is gonna rank for me because I've only seen.
I'm pretty sure I know where 5 is gonna rank for me. I don't know where 4 is gonna rank amidst 5. That's what I'm.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I know where
Yeah.
4 is gonna end up for me. I don't think 4 is gonna change. After having watched enough the first time around, and now having seen almost half of 4, it's a lot of Doctor. That's a lot of the fourth Doctor. That's a lot of scarves. But I'm really excited to get to be. I mean, I like Leela and I'm enjoying it, but I'm really excited to get to the first Ramona and that whole season. I love that season. That's one of my favorite seasons, and it has one of my favorite lines in it, which we'll come back to later. Yep. Yeah, need to watch him some more. But third Doctor definitely more enjoyable than I thought he was going to be. So I was really pleased with that character, and kind of like you hinted with our as we're ranking the Doctors, his stories were really good. Not all of them, but his stories were really good.
Well, let's finish up. But before you do your catchphrase, if anyone's listening that wants to contribute something to our 20th anniversary Doctor Who episode, send us a message on social media or on our Discord channel. We'll include any comments, the questions that people have. But that's what we're coming up to next. The 20th anniversary of modern Doctor Who. Anything else you want to add, or just your catchphrase?
I don't think there's anything else I want to add. So alien abductions are involuntary, but probings are scheduled.
Thank you for listening to the Latter-day Saint Geeks podcast. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but we don't represent the church in any official capacity. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and to review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Select episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Show notes and additional content are available on our blog, latterdaysaintgeeks.com. Intro and outro music were provided by David Schradell.